Bhakti Yoga is the path of supreme devotion, where the soul surrenders to divine love, dissolving the boundaries between self and the infinite. It's not about rigid practices or striving for perfection, but about becoming love itself, merging every breath and heartbeat with the divine essence. This path transcends logic and intellect, leading directly to the heart where love reigns supreme. Imagine giving yourself entirely to something greater than yourself, like the sun warming the earth without seeking praise or acknowledgement. That's the spirit of bhakti, to love without condition, to worship without expectation. You're not praying to get something, but to become something, an embodiment of love. The beauty of Bhakti Yoga is its raw simplicity. It doesn't require elaborate rituals or sophisticated knowledge, but an open heart willing to give and receive love. You might find yourself singing a mantra like, "I am love," not just as a repetition, but as an embodiment of that very truth. Whether it's through chanting, dancing, or quiet reflection, the essence remains the same, a wholehearted offering of yourself to the divine. This love isn't tied to any one form or tradition. It's the recognition that God exists in every atom, every breath, and every heartbeat. When you practice bhakti, you're not just performing rituals, you're pouring your soul into every act of devotion. Bhakti Yoga teaches that the greatest act of love is to serve without attachment. Every moment becomes an opportunity to turn mundane actions into offerings. Whether you're cooking a meal or comforting a friend, do it with the mindset that you're serving the divine through your actions. This mindset burns away karma and purifies your intentions, aligning your soul with the flow of divine grace. The practice is not just about feeling good or appearing virtuous. It's about becoming a vessel through which divine love flows. The more you practice, the more your actions become effortless expressions of devotion, merging your will with that of the universe. In the practice of bhakti, surrender is not a sign of weakness, but of immense spiritual strength. You let go of your ego-driven desires and open your heart to be guided by a higher force. It's like being carried by a powerful current rather than trying to swim against it. This surrender doesn't make you passive or indifferent, but more alive and attuned to the subtle presence of the divine in every moment. You're not losing control. You're gaining a deeper sense of purpose that transcends personal ambition. It's an experience of radical transformation where love is no longer just a feeling, but a way of being. Bhakti Yoga challenges the ego's desire to claim ownership of love and devotion. Instead of acting from pride or fear, you act from a place of unconditional giving. You're not driven by the hope of reward or recognition, but by the sheer joy of being in harmony with divine will. This profound state of surrender leads to self-realization, where you see yourself not as a separate entity struggling for validation, but as an inseparable part of the divine dance. It's not about achieving enlightenment. It's about embodying love so completely that there is no room for anything else. Chapter 1. Feminine and Masculine Approaches. The path of Bhakti Yoga is often seen as a feminine approach to spirituality, not because it's weak or passive, but because it embraces surrender, devotion, and the fluidity of love. It's the art of melting into divine presence, where emotions and feelings become sacred expressions of the soul's yearning. In contrast, the masculine approaches like Raja Yoga and Jnana Yoga are more structured, disciplined, and intellectual. They aim to conquer the mind through rigorous practice, concentration, and introspection. One is not superior to the other. They are complementary forces that, when balanced, lead to holistic self-realization. Both energies exist within us, regardless of gender, shaping how we navigate the spiritual path. The feminine approach, seen in both Bhakti and Karma Yoga, revolves around love, service, and surrender. It's about engaging with life as a devotional offering, seeing God in everything and everyone. It's the act of pouring your heart out without expecting a return, trusting that divine love will guide and sustain you. The masculine approach, rooted in Raja and Jnana Yoga, emphasizes mastery over the mind and direct knowledge of the self. It's like standing atop a mountain, seeing the vastness of existence with clarity and detachment. While Bhakti immerses itself in the ocean of love, Raja and Jnana strive to perceive the ocean from above, understanding its depth without being consumed by it. Think of it like dancing versus planning a performance. The feminine approach flows with the rhythm, losing itself in the music, while the masculine approach meticulously crafts each step to achieve precision. Neither is better. They are two sides of the same coin. The dance becomes truly magical when both elements harmonize, devotion guiding action, and awareness grounding love. In practical terms, a balanced spiritual practice might include moments of heartfelt worship alongside disciplined meditation. By allowing both approaches to coexist, you create a dynamic spiritual path that honors both the heart's passion and the mind's clarity. Swami Vivekananda taught that love without knowledge can become blind attachment, while knowledge without love can become dry intellectualism. The harmony between Bhakti and Jnana ensures that devotion does not descend into fanaticism, nor does wisdom become arrogance. Similarly, Karma Yoga complements Raja Yoga by turning disciplined action into an act of love rather than rigid duty. Integrating these approaches means embracing your own dual nature, the passionate lover and the discerning thinker, the devoted servant and the wise sage. This balance makes spiritual practice not only powerful, but also deeply human and relatable. Learning to blend these energies is an ongoing journey, requiring awareness of when you lean too heavily on one side. If your devotion becomes obsessive or sentimental, bring in the grounding presence of wisdom and contemplation. If your intellectual pursuit becomes cold or detached, rekindle the warmth of love and service. The goal is not to suppress one in favor of the other, but to let them enrich each other. As you walk this path, notice how devotion and discernment shape your experiences, guiding you toward a deeper understanding of your true nature. Chapter 2. The Heart of Bhakti Yoga. The heart of Bhakti Yoga is pure devotion, a radical practice of turning every action into an act of love and worship. It's about dissolving the ego, that persistent illusion of separation, and merging with the divine through complete surrender. Imagine your life as an endless love offering, where even the simplest tasks become sacred acts. Whether you're cooking a meal, helping a friend, or simply sitting in quiet reflection, every moment becomes an opportunity to honor the divine presence within and around you. This isn't about being overly sentimental or performing rituals for show. It's about embodying love as your natural state, flowing effortlessly from the heart. One of the most transformative aspects of Bhakti Yoga is learning to see God in everything. You stop compartmentalizing your spiritual practice and start living devotion in every breath. The way you speak, the way you move, and even the way you think all become aligned with your intention to serve and love unconditionally. This practice softens the heart, melts away pride, and brings a sense of peace that transcends circumstances. You're no longer struggling to assert control over life. Instead, you're embracing the flow with grace and humility. Bhakti Yoga doesn't ask you to renounce the world, but to love it fiercely, seeing divinity in the mundane. Turning your life into a continuous act of worship requires mindfulness and intention. A practical way to cultivate this is by repeating the mantra, "I am love," throughout your day. Let it echo within you as you go about your tasks, reminding yourself that your essence is love itself. When challenges arise, instead of reacting with frustration or blame, pause and breathe in the mantra. Feel how it dissolves tension and brings you back to the present moment. This simple practice not only grounds you, but also infuses your actions with a sense of purpose and devotion. It's not about being perfect. It's about being present and willing to love despite imperfection. Bhakti Yoga encourages a deep sense of humility that naturally arises when you stop claiming ownership over your actions. You realize that every act of kindness, every loving word, and every gesture of compassion is not yours to boast about. It's life expressing itself through you. This surrender doesn't make you weak or passive. On the contrary, it empowers you to act with clarity and dedication, knowing that you are part of a greater purpose. You're not striving to impress or to gain recognition, but simply to honor the divine essence that permeates all existence. In this way, even the most ordinary acts become extraordinary. To truly embody bhakti, it's essential to nurture the heart chakra, the center of unconditional love and compassion. Practices like chanting, singing devotional songs, or simply sitting in silent contemplation help open this energetic center, allowing love to flow freely. Connect with the beauty around you, in nature, art, or human connection, and let your heart respond with gratitude and reverence. The more you immerse yourself in this practice, the more you realize that love is not something you do, it's what you are. Bhakti Yoga becomes not just a spiritual path, but a way of being, where love becomes the guiding force behind every thought, word, and action. Chapter 3. Divine Madness and God Intoxication. Divine madness is that beautiful, chaotic state where the soul is completely consumed by love for God, a state of total surrender where logic and reason lose their grip. It's not a madness that leads to confusion or despair, but one that fills the heart with an overwhelming sense of unity and bliss. This is the kind of intoxication that makes saints dance, poets weep, and mystics lose themselves in ecstatic devotion. It's a fire that burns away ego and fear, leaving only pure love. When you are in this state, you don't just feel love, you become love. You are no longer bound by mundane concerns or social expectations because you have tasted the nectar of divine presence. Imagine being so lost in devotion that nothing else matters. It's not about rejecting the world, but about being so saturated with love that every action becomes an expression of that ecstasy. The Sufi mystics call it God intoxication, where one's very being dissolves into the divine. It's as if your heart becomes too vast to be contained by your body, pouring love into every corner of existence. This madness is not chaotic, but deeply harmonious, where your soul aligns with the divine pulse of the universe. You see beauty everywhere, in the simplest flower, in the laughter of a child, in the quiet hum of the city. The world becomes your beloved, and every breath is a hymn of praise. The journey to this state is not linear or predictable. It doesn't come from calculated effort or rigid discipline, but from an abandonment of the need to control. The bhakta, devotee, surrenders completely, allowing the divine presence to take over, guiding every thought and action. It's like giving the reins of your life to a force far wiser and more compassionate than your limited understanding. You might fear losing yourself in this madness, but it's not a loss. It's a return to your true essence. You shed the false identity that craves validation and instead embrace the identity of a lover, forever devoted and endlessly grateful. One practical way to invoke divine madness is through ecstatic practices like kirtan, devotional singing, where repetition of God's names unlocks a torrent of love from within. Chanting becomes not just an act, but a living prayer, where the sound reverberates through your being, shattering illusions and melting away doubts. Let yourself be carried by the rhythm, allowing your body to move and your voice to rise without inhibition. This is not performance, it's communion. The more you lose yourself in the sound, the closer you get to touching that blissful madness where nothing but love remains. Living with divine madness means accepting that not everyone will understand your path. Some might see your devotion as irrational or excessive. Let them. Their opinions are mere whispers against the roaring fire within you. Don't seek validation for your love, and don't measure it by how others respond. Bhakti Yoga is an intensely personal journey, one that transcends societal norms and logical reasoning. Allow yourself to be a little mad, to laugh, cry, and dance with no one watching. Embrace the paradox of being completely surrendered, yet vibrantly alive, knowing that this divine intoxication is the gateway to self-realization and ultimate freedom. Chapter 4. The Role of Beauty and Love. Beauty is not just an aesthetic experience. It's a direct invitation to touch the divine. In Bhakti Yoga, beauty and love are intertwined, each amplifying the other in an endless dance of devotion. When you witness something truly beautiful, like a radiant sunset or a melody that stirs your soul, your heart chakra naturally opens, and for a moment, you feel utterly connected to something greater. That feeling of awe is more than just appreciation. It's a glimpse into the divine essence. Beauty becomes a sacred kiss from the beloved, reminding you that love is not a distant concept, but a living force permeating every moment. This recognition of beauty is not limited to grand, majestic scenes. It's found in the smallest details, the sparkle in someone's eyes when they laugh, the gentle sway of leaves in the wind, or the quiet comfort of solitude. When you allow yourself to be moved by these simple moments, you're practicing bhakti without even realizing it. You're merging your consciousness with a divine presence that radiates through all creation. The mistake most people make is rushing through life without pausing to savor these gifts. To truly embrace the bhakti mindset, slow down and let your heart respond to the world's subtle, beautiful expressions. In Bhakti Yoga, beauty is not just seen, it's felt. It's a visceral response that leaves you breathless, grateful, and inexplicably moved. When your heart opens to beauty, it naturally fills with love. You don't have to force this connection. It happens effortlessly when you're fully present. The challenge lies in breaking free from the mind's constant chatter, which tends to reduce beauty to mere aesthetics rather than an experience of oneness. When beauty is truly seen, love flows freely, dissolving barriers and reminding you of your inherent divinity. This is why spiritual practices like chanting and dancing are so powerful. They immerse you in beauty and love simultaneously. Swami Vivekananda often spoke of beauty as a reflection of divine love, urging us to see God in everything beautiful. He understood that beauty is not about perfection, but about resonance, a harmony between your soul and the world around you. Whether you're admiring a work of art or listening to birds singing at dawn, allow yourself to be captivated without analyzing or judging. This kind of openness is what transforms ordinary experiences into acts of worship. It's the practice of letting beauty shape your awareness, leading you into deeper states of divine ecstasy and realization. Make it a practice to seek beauty intentionally, not as a distraction from pain, but as a reminder of your connection to the divine. Take time each day to notice something beautiful, a small flower growing through concrete, a stranger's kindness, or a passage from a sacred text that stirs your soul. Let these experiences awaken a sense of gratitude and devotion, knowing that each moment of beauty is an opportunity to connect with the divine essence. As your awareness sharpens, you'll begin to see beauty even in challenges, recognizing that love is not limited to pleasant experiences but flows through every facet of life. Chapter 5. Swami Vivekananda and Parabhakti. Swami Vivekananda was a visionary who understood the transformative power of Bhakti Yoga like no other. He saw devotion not as blind faith or mere sentimentality, but as a potent force that could transcend the limitations of the human ego and bring about profound self-realization. In his teachings, he emphasized the concept of Parabhakti, the highest form of devotion where love becomes so pure and intense that the devotee and the divine merge into one. This state of supreme devotion burns away all traces of selfish desire, leaving only the luminous presence of divine love. To reach this level requires not just dedication, but a willingness to surrender completely. In his passionate speeches, Vivekananda spoke about love as the most powerful force in the universe. He challenged people to go beyond ritualistic worship and embrace a devotion that is alive, vibrant, and fearless. Real bhakti, according to him, is not about clinging to dogmas, but about feeling God's presence so intensely that nothing else matters. It's the kind of love that transcends all worldly attachments, transforming even mundane tasks into sacred offerings. Vivekananda encouraged his followers to cultivate this burning love through constant practice and unwavering commitment, reminding them that the goal is not just to worship God, but to become one with God. Parabhakti is the culmination of devotion where the heart knows no separation. It's not just about praying or chanting, but about living every moment in divine consciousness. Imagine waking up each day not as an individual struggling through life, but as a vessel of divine love, flowing effortlessly with grace and compassion. That's the essence of Parabhakti, a love that knows no boundaries, no limitations. Vivekananda insisted that this state could not be achieved through mere intellectual understanding or half-hearted practice. It demands total immersion, where love itself becomes your identity and devotion becomes your very nature. One of the practical teachings Vivekananda offered was the idea of selfless service as an extension of bhakti. To him, serving humanity was the highest form of worship because it meant seeing God in every soul. He advocated acts of kindness not as a duty, but as a spontaneous expression of divine love. Whether feeding the hungry, educating the illiterate, or comforting the suffering, he believed that serving others was a direct path to realizing one's oneness with the divine. This radical approach broke down the barriers between spirituality and social responsibility, merging devotion with action. To practice Parabhakti in your own life, start by dedicating your actions to the divine. Whisper a prayer before each task, offering the results to God without attachment to the outcome. Reflect on the teachings of Swami Vivekananda, allowing his words to ignite the fire of devotion within your heart. Read his works, especially Bhakti Yoga and complete works of Swami Vivekananda, to immerse yourself in his revolutionary ideas on love and selflessness. Let his message guide you beyond mere belief into the lived experience of divine union. As your devotion deepens, you'll realize that love itself is the ultimate power, capable of transforming not just your life but the world around you. Chapter 6. Oneness and the Elimination of Fear. Oneness is not just a spiritual ideal. It's the fundamental reality that transcends all division. Fear arises when the mind perceives separation, creating an illusion that you are isolated from the rest of existence. This illusion breeds anxiety, insecurity, and the constant need to protect your identity. But when love blossoms, fear evaporates, because love inherently understands that nothing is truly separate. Bhakti Yoga teaches that when your heart opens to divine love, the illusion of separation crumbles, and you experience a profound sense of unity. You're not just loving God as something external. You're merging with the very essence of life itself. Imagine the courage that comes from knowing you are one with the universe, that nothing exists outside of you, and nothing can truly harm you. Fear loses its power when you recognize that love is the fundamental fabric of reality. This realization is not just comforting, it's transformative. You start living from a place of fearless compassion, guided not by the ego's desire to protect itself, but by a deeper sense of connection. You no longer act from fear of loss or rejection, but from a genuine desire to express love in every action. This shift dissolves the constant tension of self-preservation and replaces it with the peace of unity. One of the most practical ways to cultivate oneness and eliminate fear is through shared giving and acts of service. When you extend love without expecting anything in return, your sense of separateness naturally fades. Volunteer to shelter, help a neighbor in need, or simply listen to someone's troubles without judgment. These acts break down the barriers that the ego erects, reminding you that love is a shared experience. The more you practice selfless service, the more your heart expands, and fear loses its grip. You begin to see that every soul is a reflection of the divine, and in serving others, you are serving God. Bhakti Yoga also encourages practices that open the heart chakra, allowing love to flow freely and dissolve fear at its root. Chanting mantras like, "I am love," can help anchor you in this awareness. Meditating on divine presence, whether as a deity, nature, or pure consciousness, helps bridge the gap between the self and the infinite. As you breathe in, imagine drawing divine love into your heart. As you breathe out, release all fear and doubt, letting them dissolve into the vast ocean of existence. This simple practice rewires your consciousness, aligning it with the truth that you are never alone and never separate. Living from a place of oneness doesn't mean ignoring practical challenges or denying the reality of conflict. It means approaching life with a fearless heart, grounded in the knowledge that love is the core of every experience. You stop seeing others as threats or obstacles and start recognizing them as extensions of your own being. This perspective transforms relationships, softens judgments, and cultivates a sense of peace that remains unshaken by external turmoil. The more you embrace oneness, the less power fear holds over your life, and the more your actions naturally flow from a place of divine love. Chapter 7. The Three Powers of Love. Love is not just a fleeting emotion or a romantic ideal. It's a transformative force that possesses immense power. In Bhakti Yoga, love manifests through three fundamental powers: one-pointedness, burning away karma, and shared giving. These powers do not merely change how you feel, they change how you live. They realign your soul with divine intention, clearing away the debris of ego-driven actions and opening the path to self-realization. Understanding and cultivating these powers transforms love from a passive sentiment into an active, dynamic force that propels you towards spiritual evolution. One-pointedness is the ability to focus your love and devotion entirely on the divine, without distraction or wavering commitment. It's like aiming a beam of light directly at the heart of your beloved, unwavering and pure. This concentration of love cuts through doubts and fears, uniting your intentions with your actions. Imagine dedicating each thought, word, and deed to a single purpose, honoring the divine in all you do. Practicing this kind of focus not only purifies your intentions, but also amplifies the power of your devotion. You are no longer scattered by conflicting desires, but aligned with a single, unwavering goal of divine connection. Burning away karma is the natural consequence of this focused devotion. As love intensifies, it consumes the residual traces of past actions, like a fire that purifies metal. This doesn't mean that challenges or difficulties cease to exist, but that your relationship with them changes. Instead of resisting or resenting hardships, you embrace them as opportunities to deepen your love and surrender. Each act of selfless devotion burns away another layer of karmic residue, gradually liberating you from the cycle of action and reaction. You no longer view karma as a burden, but as fuel for transformation, a necessary catalyst for spiritual growth. Shared giving is the third power of love, rooted in the understanding that true devotion cannot be contained or hoarded. Love must be expressed and shared, spilling over from your heart into the lives of others. This giving is not transactional or calculated. It's spontaneous, driven by an inner compulsion to bless and uplift. Acts of kindness, service, and compassion are not performed to gain merit or recognition, but as natural expressions of your overflowing devotion. The more you give without attachment, the more you align with divine love, breaking the cycle of selfish motivation and nurturing a spirit of harmony and balance. To embody these three powers of love, start small but with intention. Practice one-pointedness by dedicating your morning routine entirely to divine contemplation, whether through chanting, meditation, or silent prayer. Allow that focus to set the tone for your day. Engage in conscious acts of giving without expecting anything in return, even if it's just offering a smile or a listening ear. Let your acts of service burn away your attachment to results. As these practices deepen, love ceases to be a mere feeling and becomes a powerful force that drives every action and thought. This transformation doesn't just elevate your spiritual practice, it completely redefines how you relate to life itself. Chapter 8. Unconditional Love and Non-Transactional Devotion. Unconditional love is the essence of Bhakti Yoga, a love that flows freely without expectation or demand. It's not about loving to receive, but about loving because it's your very nature to do so. When your heart overflows with devotion, there's no room for conditions or calculations. You're not trying to bargain with the divine, nor are you seeking a reward. Instead, your love becomes a gift, given without the slightest desire for recognition. This purity of intention transforms your practice from mere ritual to a living, breathing expression of divine connection. It's love for love's sake, nothing more, nothing less. One of the most profound challenges in practicing unconditional love is confronting the ego's tendency to expect something in return. Whether it's validation, comfort, or a sense of accomplishment, the ego subtly tries to turn love into a transaction. Bhakti Yoga calls for a radical shift away from this mindset. It's about offering your heart completely, without weighing the benefits or outcomes. Imagine holding a flower in your hands and offering it to the divine, knowing that it may wither without ever being acknowledged. Your devotion is not diminished by the lack of response, because it was never about being seen. It was about expressing your innermost essence. The purity of unconditional love requires vigilance against subtle expectations. Even when we believe we are giving selflessly, there's often a hidden desire for appreciation or acknowledgement. To dissolve this tendency, practice offering acts of kindness without revealing your involvement. Perform good deeds anonymously, letting the universe be your witness. The more you let go of needing credit, the lighter your spirit becomes, and the more genuine your love becomes. It's not about diminishing your worth, but about transcending the ego's desire for validation. This is the heart of non-transactional devotion, giving purely because love is who you are. Living with unconditional love means recognizing that every soul is worthy of devotion, regardless of how they treat you. It's easy to love those who appreciate your efforts, but the real test lies in loving without discrimination. Bhakti Yoga teaches that every being is a reflection of the divine, and loving one means loving all. Even in conflict, even in rejection, your love remains unwavering because it's rooted in your own divine nature. This doesn't mean allowing yourself to be mistreated or manipulated, but rather maintaining a sense of compassion even when distance is necessary. Love becomes a state of being rather than a fleeting emotion. To nurture unconditional love, incorporate the mantra, "I am love," into your daily routine. Let it serve as a reminder that love is not something you do, but something you are. Engage in practices that reinforce this mindset, such as journaling about moments when you felt the impulse to expect something in return and consciously choosing to release that expectation. Reflect on how letting go of transactional thinking makes your love feel more vibrant and liberating. As you embrace non-transactional devotion, your relationship with the divine deepens, and you experience a profound sense of fulfillment that no worldly reward could ever match. Chapter 9. Radical Practice of Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is not for the faint-hearted. It demands a radical transformation of how you approach love, devotion, and service. This practice is not just about praying or chanting. It's about living with such intense love that every action, every thought, and every breath becomes an offering to the divine. It's a path where you don't just talk about love, you become love. It's radical because it goes against the grain of egoic thinking, which constantly seeks validation and recognition. True bhakti breaks down these walls, leaving you exposed, vulnerable, and completely open to the divine current flowing through you. To fully embrace this radical practice, you must be willing to see God in everything and everyone, even those you find difficult to love. Imagine walking down a crowded street and consciously recognizing every soul as an expression of the divine. Whether it's a stranger, a friend, or someone who has wronged you, see them through the eyes of unconditional love. This mindset isn't about ignoring faults or accepting harmful behavior, but about transcending judgment and embracing the inherent divinity within all beings. You love not because they deserve it, but because love is your natural state. It's a fearless love that doesn't waver, even in the face of rejection or misunderstanding. This approach requires you to move beyond convenience and into radical self-giving. Whether it's helping a neighbor, offering support to a friend in crisis, or even showing kindness to someone who has hurt you, your actions become powerful acts of devotion. The radical nature of Bhakti Yoga lies in its refusal to categorize people as worthy or unworthy of love. Love flows indiscriminately, like sunlight touching all things without preference. It's not about perfection or flawlessness, but about being relentlessly committed to expressing love without conditions. This relentless devotion to love cultivates harmony and balance in your life, dissolving inner conflict and external resistance. One practical way to deepen your commitment to this radical practice is by consciously transforming mundane tasks into acts of worship. Washing dishes, see it as a way to serve the divine. Stuck in traffic, use that time to repeat the mantra, "I am love," and bless those around you. This mindset doesn't mean neglecting responsibilities, but rather infusing them with a spirit of devotion. It's about shifting from doing tasks to offering them as acts of service. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes to move through life with a sense of purpose and connection, even in the most ordinary moments. Radical bhakti also means embracing divine ecstasy without fear or restraint. Let your heart overflow with love, whether through singing, dancing, or simply sitting in quiet contemplation. Don't hold back your devotion for fear of being misunderstood or judged. The world needs more people unafraid to express divine love, to live with reckless devotion that heals and uplifts. This kind of love is contagious. It transforms not only you, but those around you. As you walk this path, let your devotion be so intense and unwavering that it challenges others to awaken their own hearts. Love without hesitation, serve without expectation, and let your very presence become a blessing to the world. Chapter 10. Mantra and Practice. Mantras are not just words. They are vibrational keys that unlock deeper states of consciousness and dissolve the illusion of separation. In Bhakti Yoga, the mantra, "I am love," becomes a powerful declaration of your true nature. It's not a superficial affirmation, but a profound realization that transcends thought and feeling. When you repeat this mantra, you're not convincing yourself of something foreign. You're remembering an eternal truth. It acts as a bridge between your limited perception and the infinite love that resides within you. Through consistent practice, the mantra embeds itself into your consciousness, guiding your thoughts, actions, and intentions toward divine alignment. Integrating the mantra, "I am love," into your daily life transforms your routine into a continuous practice of devotion. Start your morning by sitting quietly and repeating the mantra, allowing it to resonate in your heart. As the words flow, feel them vibrating through your entire being, dissolving tension and anxiety. Let the mantra carry you into a space where love is not just a concept, but a living presence. Throughout the day, whenever you feel overwhelmed or disconnected, pause and breathe in the mantra. Use it as a mental reset, realigning your awareness with your divine essence. This simple practice nurtures a sense of peace and helps you respond to challenges with compassion rather than frustration. To deepen the impact of this practice, pair the mantra with acts of service. When you cook for your family, chant softly as you prepare the meal, infusing your actions with love. When helping a friend, let the mantra guide your thoughts so that your support is genuine and free from egoic motives. Even during moments of conflict, silently repeat, "I am love," to remain centered and grounded. This combination of inner repetition and outward service cultivates harmony, transforming mundane tasks into sacred offerings. Love becomes not just an emotion, but a force that flows naturally through you, shaping how you move and interact with the world. Consider also incorporating guided meditation focused on the mantra. Find a quiet space where you can sit comfortably, close your eyes, and take deep breaths. Start by repeating, "I am love," out loud, gradually softening your voice until it becomes a whisper, and finally, an internal vibration. As you settle into the silence, feel the mantra echoing within your chest, like a gentle pulse of divine presence. Allow yourself to sink deeper into this state, letting go of thoughts and worries. Just be present with the vibration of love itself. This practice not only calms the mind, but also reorients your entire being toward unity and peace. Make the mantra a part of your life, not just a fleeting ritual. Set reminders on your phone to pause and repeat it throughout the day. Write it down on sticky notes and place them where you'll see them often, on your mirror, computer, or even your car dashboard. Let the words, "I am love," become an inseparable part of your inner dialogue. The more consistently you practice, the more the mantra becomes embedded in your consciousness, reshaping your thoughts and reactions. You'll find that love flows effortlessly, not because you're forcing it, but because you've aligned your very essence with its vibration. Chapter 11. Love in Action. Love in action is the ultimate expression of Bhakti Yoga, where devotion transcends words and manifests in every thought, gesture, and deed. It's about treating each moment as a sacred opportunity to honor the divine presence in yourself and others. Imagine a world where every interaction is rooted in kindness, where every act becomes an offering to God. This is not idealistic or naive. It's the highest form of practical spirituality. You're not just talking about love or feeling love. You're embodying it, channeling it through your very existence. Whether you're helping a stranger or comforting a friend, each act becomes a prayer, a tangible manifestation of divine love. One of the most transformative aspects of love in action is seeing God in everything. You're not just serving a person or fulfilling a duty. You're honoring the divine essence within them. This perspective completely changes how you approach daily tasks. Washing dishes becomes a meditation. Cleaning your space becomes an act of worship, and every conversation becomes an opportunity to reflect grace. This mindset doesn't make you passive or overly submissive. Rather, it infuses your actions with a powerful, radiant energy that uplifts both you and those around you. You start living from the heart rather than the mind, driven by an inner compulsion to bless and serve. To practice love in action, start by dedicating your tasks to the divine. Whether it's your work, your hobbies, or your responsibilities at home, offer them as acts of devotion. Say to yourself, "This is for you, Lord," and let that intention guide your movements. If someone wrongs you, respond not with bitterness, but with compassion, recognizing that their actions are shaped by their own struggles and conditioning. Let your response be rooted in forgiveness rather than retaliation. This doesn't mean becoming a doormat or ignoring injustices. It means choosing love even when it's hard, knowing that your strength lies in your capacity to transcend negativity. The key to sustaining love in action is consistency. It's easy to practice kindness when you feel inspired, but the real test comes during moments of stress, frustration, or doubt. When those feelings arise, pause and repeat the mantra, "I am love." Allow the words to anchor you back into your true nature. Notice how this shift softens your heart and guides your response toward empathy rather than reaction. Remember, love in action is not about grand gestures or self-sacrifice. It's about bringing the essence of love into the simplest moments. A smile, a kind word, a gesture of help. These are the small sparks that ignite a fire of transformation. As you practice embodying love, you'll notice a profound shift in how people respond to you. It's not about gaining approval or admiration. It's about becoming a living expression of devotion. Your presence alone becomes calming and uplifting, and you find that challenges lose their power to disturb your peace. This is the power of Bhakti Yoga at its peak. Not just loving God in the abstract, but loving God through every interaction, every responsibility, and every challenge. As love flows through you effortlessly, you become a conduit of divine energy, touching lives without even realizing it. Chapter 12. Integration. Change how you relate to hardships. The essence of Bhakti Yoga is simple yet profoundly transformative. To live as love itself, to see divinity in every person and situation, and to turn every action into an offering. It's not about seeking perfection or forcing devotion, but about allowing love to naturally flow through you without resistance. You don't need to wait for special moments to practice this. Every day holds countless opportunities to integrate love into your life. Whether through a kind word, a thoughtful gesture, or simply holding space for someone's pain, each act becomes a sacred ritual when performed with an open heart. The ultimate realization is that you are not separate from the divine. You are an expression of divine love itself. Living this truth requires consistency and courage. especially when life's challenges test your resolve. You might feel anger, frustration, or despair at times, but Bhakti Yoga doesn't demand that you suppress these emotions. Instead, it invites you to surrender them at the altar of divine love. When you allow your heart to remain open even in the face of pain, you transcend the duality of pleasure and suffering. You're no longer bound by the ego's need to protect itself or assert dominance. Instead, you become a vessel through which divine love can flow without hindrance. This practice doesn't make you passive. It empowers you to act from a place of unwavering peace and compassion. One of the most powerful aspects of Bhakti Yoga is its ability to dismantle the illusion of separation. When you truly see God in everything, fear dissolves, and a profound sense of unity emerges. You stop fighting against circumstances and begin to move in harmony with life itself. Challenges are no longer seen as obstacles, but as opportunities to deepen your devotion and express your unwavering love. Imagine being so rooted in divine love that nothing can shake your inner peace. That's the power of this path. It doesn't eliminate hardship, but it changes how you relate to it. You become resilient, centered, and fearless, knowing that love itself is your greatest strength. To keep this practice alive, immerse yourself in the teachings of great masters like Swami Vivekananda and saints from various traditions who embody divine love. Surround yourself with reminders of your true nature, whether through sacred texts, chanting, or devotional songs. Let your mantra, "I am love," become the rhythm of your life, guiding your thoughts and shaping your actions. Stay vigilant against the ego's attempts to claim credit or seek validation, and instead, offer every outcome to the divine. As you grow in this practice, your life transforms from a pursuit of satisfaction to a continuous expression of grace and harmony. The journey of Bhakti Yoga is not about achieving a distant goal, but about embracing the divine presence that already exists within you. It's a path of surrender, where the fire of love consumes all that is false and leaves only the pure, radiant essence of your being. Whether you're serving others, chanting mantras, or simply being present, let love be your guide. Remember, love is not something you must strive to become. It's who you already are. The more you recognize and embody this truth, the more your life will become a reflection of divine ecstasy and supreme devotion. Conclusion. Take this wisdom and put into practice. You've just uncovered the most profound truth about love and devotion. That real love is not about possession or control, but about complete surrender and fearless giving. The world will tell you that love is fragile, something that must be guarded and protected. But Bhakti Yoga shows you the opposite. Love is the very force that sustains the universe, and when you align with it, you become unstoppable. You become the embodiment of divine ecstasy, living every moment as an offering, every action as a prayer. It's not about being perfect or flawless. It's about living with your heart fully open and unapologetically connected to the divine source. Think about how this knowledge could change your life. Imagine transforming every interaction into an act of worship, every challenge into a chance to deepen your devotion. The ordinary becomes extraordinary when love infuses it with purpose and presence. Instead of being controlled by pride, guilt, or fear, you're guided by a love so vast that nothing can disturb your peace. This isn't some distant ideal. It's a reality you can start living right now. The secret lies not in trying harder, but in surrendering deeper. Let love be your guide, and let devotion be your strength. Now it's your turn. Take this wisdom and put into practice. Start small but intentional. Repeat the mantra, "I am love," throughout your day, and let it shape your interactions. Serve others without expecting anything in return, and see how it transforms not only their lives but your own heart. Dive into the teachings of Swami Vivekananda and other Bhakti masters to fuel your journey with inspiration and guidance. The more you immerse yourself in this path, the more you will experience the divine flowing through you, effortlessly and powerfully. What are you waiting for? You have the power to change your reality by choosing love over fear, devotion over ego, and unity over separation. Start today, not tomorrow, not next week. Embrace the path of Bhakti Yoga and let love become your defining truth. If this message resonated with you, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to stay connected with more transformative content. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below. How do you practice love in your daily life? Let's build a community where love is not just talked about, but truly lived.